Morning, profitable traders. Welcome to today's market color session, being the 13th of June 2025. So good to have each and every one of you around. For this part of the market color session, I will be analyzing the XY, GBP USD, and Euro USD. Right after that, Lakon will be coming for his analysis on gold and the yen basket. I'd like to crave our indulgence, kindly share the link to this market color session with everyone on our various social media platforms so that this can get to as many people as possible and they can get to participate in what we have ongoing here. If this is your first time connecting for the market color session, you're very much welcome. We do this every day, Monday to Friday, by 8:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. respectively. So without wasting much of our time, we will just head straight to the chart for today's analysis. Starting off with the XY. All right, so we usually like to start from the monthly time frame so that we just have an overview, an overall direction rather, on what price is doing across boards. So on the monthly time frame, I'm seeing right here, the direction is still very bullish. We have seen the sweep of this very liquidity right here, and right here, the most recent price action is a sell, right? A grab of this very liquidity. We're seeing even more downward movement. And on the weekly time frame, I'm seeing right here, we've seen price take out this very low right here, right? And then we saw this retracement. On Wednesday, I had speculation that price will probably take out this very low right here at 98.207 on the weekly time frame. And presently, price is sitting at that very level. On the daily time frame, for the XY, we've seen a clear of this very low. So I'm even expecting further bearish moves on GBP, on the XY, I beg your pardon, right? So for the 4-hour time frame, if I will be fibbing this most recent swing from point A to point B, right? Ideally, price should retrace into 61.8% fib level before continuing its move to the downside.
Yeah, gold is paired with dollars in the global market, and because of that, we know that
apologies for that. On 1-hour time frame, I'm even seeing more, bearish moves. Price retraced into this very fib level, held at that point, even formed a base right here, and we're seeing even further push to the downside. After seeing price forming a base, I've come down to my 5 minutes time frame to see if any variation pattern has been formed after price has broken below that base, but I haven't seen that happening yet, right? I haven't seen that happening yet. Narrowing down to 3 minutes time frame to see if there's a variation pattern. 1, 2, 3. This closed below this very first candle. There's a variation pattern. There's every possibility for price to keep selling off that point. So my bias on the XY is actually a sell down to GBP USD. On the monthly time frame, right? Overall, we're seeing that price is to the downside. We're seeing price taking out this very high right here on the monthly time frame, and down to the weekly time frame, pretty much the same thing. We're even seeing more push to the upside. On the daily time frame, if I will be fibbing this swing from point A to point B, right? I want to see price retrace into this very level, 61.8% fib level, before I continue my buys all the way. But for today on the 4-hour time frame, if I will be fibbing the most recent swings on the 4-hour time frame, this is what I will consider as the most recent swing from point A to point B. So as we can see right here, price retraced into 61.8% fib level, held up that point, and we're seeing some bullish move all the way to the upside. And even the classic box pattern right here. Shoulder at 1.35193, right? Sweep to the downside, we've seen it break to the upside, and we have seen price, retrace back into this very left shoulder, and we're seeing that price is holding off that point. So all I'm interested in doing for today is to keep buying GBP USD. And of course, price retraced into this very level, and we're seeing even more push to the upside. Pretty much same thing on the 1 hour time frame. Shoulder right here, right at 1.35203. Sweep to the downside. We've seen quite a break to the upside, and we've seen price returning to this very left shoulder. And all you're seeing is some push to the upside. So I am bullish on GBP USD for today. Down to Euro USD. On Euro USD, the monthly time frame. Overall, we're seeing the direction is to the downside. All we've seen here is a super visibility all the way to the upside and down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we saw that price retraced into 78.6% fib level, and all we're seeing is some push to the upside. We've seen a clear of this very high right here, and after every expansion, all we expect to see is some retracement. Same thing for the daily time frame, held at 78.6% fib level, and we're seeing some push. We're seeing more bullish moves on the daily time frame. For the 4 hour time frame, on the 4 hour time frame, if I will be fibbing this most recent swing from point A to point B, right here, price retraced into 50% fib level, which coincides with this very other block right here. So we can, we dare to say that we're bullish on Euro USD, right? So if I will be, I have seen a base being formed at this 50% fib level, all I will do is, mark my line on the second candle and narrow down to my 5 minutes time frame to see if I can spot any variation pattern. I haven't seen any yet on the 5 minutes time frame. Down to the 3 minutes time frame also, I haven't really seen a clear variation pattern being formed. So all I'll wait for is for me to see a variation pattern being formed. And after seeing that, I will take my buy entries for Euro USD, right? So classically, this is what a variation pattern looks like for a sell scenario. If you can see my charts, for a sell scenario, this is what a variation pattern looks like. A bullish candle, a small-bodied bearish candle, and then this very bearish candle closing below this very first candle. So this is basically what a variation pattern looks like for those who are wondering. Please, if you have questions at this point, kindly type in the chat box while we're doing that, or if you have a different bias from what has been analyzed, please type in the chat box and we'll be looking at what you're seeing together. The ATM cash flow training for June edition starts tomorrow, the 14th of June 2025, through to the 28th of June 2025. It's not too late to register. Send us a message on 081 60 99 50 30, and we will be helping you out with the registration process. If there are no questions, we'll be going on a very brief break, and Lekon will be coming up for his analysis on gold and the yen basket. Don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly.
morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Market Call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. And this morning, we are going to be going into the analysis of the precious metal. And from there, we are going to be heading straight to Japan to see what is going on in Japan. That was a very great analysis from Cynthia for the dollar and also the dollar correlated pair, Euro USD and GBP USD. Now, with that insight, we are going to be leveraging that on the precious metal, which is gold this morning. Please, if you can just mute your mic, kindly do that. All right. So this morning, as we are seeing, we've been on a bullish trend on the precious metal so far. As you can see, even from the weekly time frame, everywhere is bullish from the weekly time frame. You can see we've been very bullish for the precious metal so far. If you see that price has been respecting the trend line all the way to the upside. However, we expect some level of pullback and also then continuation of the bullish trend. So this is what we've been expecting at the opening of the week, that we should see some level of pullback, then price coming to take out the liquidity point here, which we see very clearly on our 4-hour time frame. All right. So if you look at our 4-hour time frame, you are going to observe how that price has come all the way to take out the 4-hour liquidity, this particular level here. And we said two things happen if price takes out this level and it doesn't give our entry signature for a sell, then that means it's coming to take out this level also. And that is exactly what we see happen early out of today. After I took out this liquidity point, and what is our major reference? Our major reference is very, very obvious. And this is the current all-time high of the precious metal at the 3500 level, 3500 level, just as you can see here. So we've seen how that price takes out liquidity around this level. And what we are expecting now is to see a sell of the precious metal all the way back down into the trend line before the continuation of his bullish trend. Okay, we are expecting price to sell all the way into this trend line here. First, what we were initially viewing was that this week is going to open as a sell week. I mean, Monday to Tuesday, then we are going to see this buy. But it happens to be a long, then we are seeing a short for the close of the week. Let's now check on the lower time frame. What is our move? Yes, let's quickly take a look at what we have on the 1-hour time frame. If you check your 1-hour time frame, you are going to observe that everywhere seems more to be bullish. However, we are seeing whenever we see any bullish trend, definitely we should also view some sell also with time. All right. So currently, what we are seeing right now is price has been bullish, and we expect that sell into the trend line. Now, where is the entry for us? For the sell. If you look at it early hours during the Asian session, it gave an entry for the sell, which was this particular level that we can spot here, all right, on the 15-minute time frame for the precious metal. However, I'm still of the opinion that we may still see more of the level of pullback. If you miss, since we already missed particular entry, then we should expect some level of pullback more. So we are expecting to sell the precious somewhere around the zone at this fair value gap, price return into this fair value gap. Now let's just look at 5-minute time frame for more confirmation of that our entry. Now, if you look at 5-minute time frame, we've seen market structure shift to the downside. So we expect price come and take out all this liquidity and trade into this fair value gap here. I think we should have a very clear view of this right now. Just as you can see we have some level of RFID here, which is fair value gap both to the left and right. So we expect price to trade all the way to this zone. So that is our expectation for today on the precious metal, meaning we are expecting price to come all the way to this level here. Then we are going to start selling from this zone with our stop loss just above the Asian high. All right, and our SL will be Asian at our entry just inside of this value gap, as you can see here. So this is going to be our entry for the precious metal sell for the day. All right, and where are we selling to all the way down? The first target is going to be the Asian low, while the next target would be below, as we can see on the trend line. Now you get to see that much more clearly on our 1 hour time frame. So this is what we are expecting today. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting price to react at the Asian low because of the signature that we have here. So we are expecting price to pull all the way back into this zone. Then we can easily offload some of the position if you want to. But if you still want to follow through to the trend line, and that is going to take, and knowing fully well, today being a Friday, so this should be enough for all. Today being a Friday, because we are going to have a close of the market today. And just as we encourage, this time around is not really very, very good enough for you to leave a trade running in the course of the weekend, because you don't know what decision may come up during the weekend. All right, so that is our outlook for the precious metal. That is where we are heading to on the precious metal. Now let's quickly move to Japan to see what we have on the yen basket. All right, for the yen basket, we all can see what is going on the yen basket, particularly from the weekly time frame. Please kindly mute your mic, please. Particularly from the weekly time frame, what we can see on the yen basket, we are expecting this week to be a buy week for the yen basket, and we really want it to still buy all the way into our POI that we're expecting it to get to here. But what we can see so far is, since it got into this consolidation on the weekly time frame, price has been trading within this range, and the overall view is still that after this first leg of buy move, then we expect the second leg into this POI. However, if you look at it from the daily time frame too, then that gives us a very clear move of why price did what it did on Wednesday, as price came proper to tap into this daily order block and begin to move all the way up. So we still expect more of the buy of the yen basket moving forward, particularly all these sell side liquidity. We expect price to come and clear everything and keep buying all the way up. Also, if you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, we have much more clear move on the 4-hour time frame, how that price has come all the way to achieve its objective. Just that the only concern there is price did not really tap into this fair value gap that we have here, this imbalance here. It just moved closer to it, but as we can see, this is more like an impaired imbalance here. You can see it here, how that price just tapped into that level too. So we expect more of the buy, as you can see the volume early hours of today, and also on the 4-hour time frame. You see the order block here, and we still have seen the buy of the yen basket. That is simply telling us that for the GBP, JPY, the other yen correlated pairs, then we should see some level of sell on them. But let's look at them particularly from the weekly time frame, so that we would have a value of GBP JPY. You are going to observe that after we had, yes, the overall move has been buying all the way to the upside, but this last leg, which is more like a flip of what we have on the yen basket, is simply telling us that price already broke this structure to the downside, and we are seeing some level of consolidation within this range since last year. So where exactly are we now heading to for GBP JPY? Now, much more so, we expect more of GBP JPY sell because of what we are going to see right now. You can see even from the monthly time frame, if you look at the monthly time frame, we are going to observe that price definitely came all the way, gave a signature here, which was the buy into this level, and you can see how that the sellers are very much, interested in selling more. Even the tussle was very high with them, so we expect more of the sell, particularly to come and take out liquidity at this low here. And even if you look more, refine more into your weekly time frame, you are going to observe that on the weekly time frame too, there's enough liquidity there, and we still have a POI below here where we expect price to come and trade to after taking out this liquidity here. Now the question is, will it happen in a day? No, it's going to be a gradual move. Now the gradual move now helps us now to go to the lower time frame to look at what exactly is going on the lower time frame. Now from the 4-hour time frame, you are going to observe that it looks more like we are in a consolidation market, how that price already, all through was sitting within this zone here. But let's take a look at this last price move that we are seeing here. Now, if you look at it from the lower time frame, 1 hour, then we go to 15 minutes. On the 1 hour time frame, we've seen a market structure shift to the downside since on Tuesday. You can see that, and price came all the way back to the shoulder level just on Wednesday, the way you can see here, and this is it here. We have price came all the way back into this shoulder level. All right, so that is our box right there. And before that, we see how that price took out liquidity from that level. You can see this liquidity here, price took it out, and we begin to see the sell, the massive sell. And even early hours of the Asian session, we see how price dig all the way down. And where we are still expecting price to sell into is first, for today now, we expect price to come and take out liquidity from this level here, this particular low, this Wednesday, Thursday Asian low, last week Thursday Asian low. We expect price to still come and take out that level. And when price take out that level and get to this zone that we have here, then we may now consider, more of a pullback, meaning price pulling back to the upside again from this level. So this is going to be a low probability trade, but you can also still take it because we've seen the shoulder, we've seen the sweep, we've seen the forceful break, and we see the liquidity build for price to break all through. So we are expecting price to come all the way, sell all the way down here, then we can buy from this place again back up. But right now, where are we going to sell right now based on the current price action? Let's go to 15-minute time frame to refine that. Based on the current price action, the most important, the most clear level for us where we can sell still happens to be if price come all the way to take out liquidity from this top here, just as we have here. Or better still, the way we are looking at the chart here right now, better still, we may see high probability of price, selling from this particular order block within the Asian session. You can see it there. So those are the levels. If we see any entry signature for the sell, meaning something like this, this particular candlestick pattern, or this, we see any bearish engulfing in within this zone to this top here, then we can easily take it to sell. And where are we selling all the way into? We are selling all the way into our 1 hour POI into this place. All right, so let's look out for our sell entry within this zone. The reason why I want to put the mark up there is so that you won't go and carry it verbatim and go and place on your chart, but it's going to be within this zone. Let's go back to 15 minutes. But be very mindful. Remember that you must see your entry signature before you pull the trigger. And our SL will be somewhere above this level. When we see any of this entry signature, anywhere we see it will be our entry, and our SL will be above that entry signature. All right, so that is where we are looking out for to take the sell of GBP JPY. All right, so let's watch out for that. And lastly, for the yen pair, we have right here the AUD JPY. For AUD JPY, remember early this hour or early morning during the Asian session, we see the massive sell-off of all the yen pairs all through. And remember, for the AUD JPY, on the monthly time frame particularly, we are going to observe that we have similar move with what we are seeing on the yen basket, how that price has come all the way to come and take out liquidity below here. You can see it now, but that is even giving us more confidence of the trade we want to take on the GBP JPY. because AUD-JPY seems to have done its own sometimes last month to take out liquidity below here, but GBP-JPY hasn't done that. So we are expecting more of sell on GBP-JPY. Now, if you look at AUD-JPY from the weekly time frame again, you are going to observe how that we still expect more of the sell of AUD-JPY. Even though there's still room for it to buy on the weekly time frame, we are seeing a lot of entry signatures ahead of this place, but it's going to be from the lower time frame that we are going to determine where we will now begin to enter gradually, because we know that the lower time frame makes up the higher time frame. However, higher time frame controls the lower time frame. All right. So if you look at 4-hour time frame right now for AUD-JPY, we are going to observe right now that what we are seeing on the 4-hour time frame of AUD-JPY, we've seen so far how that price got to the shoulder level that we have here and sold off sometimes on Wednesday. You can see all the way to the downside on Wednesday. Now, where are we now looking out for price to sell more on the AUD-JPY pair? That means we need to go to our 1-hour time frame to look more for our confirmation entry. Now, our confirmation entry for the 1-hour time frame is still very much at this top here. You can see it here. So this flip zone, this support that was broken, is where we would be looking out for. And we can see the order block there. So let's wait for price to get to this zone. Then we can easily take a clear decision for the sell of AUD-JPY. But right now, price is still itching higher, and let's see how far it goes. All right, so that is what we are looking out for to see. Right now, you may see some price reaction here because this is also a flip zone too for price to get to. But looking at what we are having here, let's allow price to trade all the way to this level, because this is where we have much more clearer tussle between buyers and sellers. All right, so that is the level we are going to be looking out for the sell of AUD-JPY. And if you look at it from the 15-minute time frame, you are going to observe it gives us, a very clear view now that this is the level we are looking at. Two things happen when price gets here and we see the entry signature for a sell, then we take it. But if we did not, then we wait to see what next did price intend to do at that level. So this is going to be it for today's market color. If there's any question, let me quickly take a question before we call it a day. All right. Someone said, I see my sell signature at 134 GU. Okay, I believe she already attended to that. Mr. Luashe, I believe she already attended to that before end of that. All right. So Japheth said Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY. Okay, lastly, we can just quickly take a look at Euro JPY for what exactly is going on it. Now for Euro JPY, let's start from the higher time frame too. If you look at Euro JPY from the weekly time frame, good, very clean. You can see for Euro JPY, it's so amazing how we see how clearly that GBP-JPY is really lagging. And now we can see on Euro JPY what price is doing. Price already took out liquidity around this level. It seems it should, but let's wait a bit to see clearly what price has really done there. Price just test that high where we see this sell to the downside before the consolidation. All right, now where are we heading to? Straight for Euro JPY. From my view right now, I'm seeing clearly how that price still has the high tendency of coming all the way into this flip zone for the Euro JPY. Let's get that established. Good, somewhere here. So we are expecting price. There's high tendency price to push all the way to that level. Moreover, this is also a fair value gap that we have here, and also that flip zone seated there, and we also have a shoulder there. So that's some level of insight again, if by any means we see a buy move shows up. However, if you look at the daily time frame from the chart right now, we are going to observe that yes, we are seeing more of a push to the upside but price is still within a range, within this consolidation on the daily time frame. So that is simply telling us we should still go more into the lower time frame to get our specific decision. All right, now for 4-hour time frame, we are seeing everywhere seems more to be a bullish trend. However, we are seeing more like a market structure shift right now on the 4-hour time frame. Just as you can see, this is it right here. We've seen how that market already broke structure and price pulling back. This is a typical boss strategy, boss pattern here. We've seen the shoulder just around this level here. So let's just mark it. That is our shoulder there. And one thing we should expect is before the shoulder, before the massive push that broke this level, we see how price creates, some liquidity level there. So that will give, we are going to see a very clear insight on 1-hour time frame. Great. If you see the 1-hour time frame, we can see our shoulder, we can see the sweep, and now liquidity before the break. So we expect very much more that price is still coming to come and take out this particular level. So we are seeing much more specific move on Euro JPY right now. Great. Now, so we're expecting price to come all the way to take out this liquidity level here. However, if the momentum on the yen basket is very high for the buy, then there is high tendency we see the sell just at this flip zone that we have here. All right, just at this flip zone, which is also close to the Asian eye. All right, this flip zone that we have here. So if we see any of our entry signature around this level, then we can easily pull the trigger. However, let's check the 15-minute time frame again to confirm the final verdict for the Euro JPY. Now, if you look at it on the 15-minute time frame, we have a very clear move. So the best thing to do, since price has not gotten to the flip zone before we are seeing this signature, I won't advise we go in for the sell now. However, just wait. The best thing we should see is price coming all the way to take out liquidity here. Allow price to take out this liquidity point. If price takes out this liquidity point, then I'll be willing and glad to sell Euro JPY very, very well. So this is what I'm expecting to see on Euro JPY moving forward. Price coming all the way. This should be our stop loss level. All right. And our entry would be after that price takes out liquidity here. And that's just about 20 pips. And where are we targeting? We are targeting all the way to the Asian low first. All right, so that is 1:8, about so 1:8. All right, so that is a very good one for us if we can get that on board. So this is it for Euro JPY, and today being Friday, I truly wish and pray that that happens to the pair today. All right, so that is going to be it for the analysis. If there's further question, I believe I've been able to answer your question. All right, if there's no further question, this is going to be the end of the market column brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. All right, as we are also expecting some fundamentals today. Okay, we are expecting some fundamentals today. By 3 p.m., we are going to be expecting the inflation, UOM inflation of the USD this afternoon. So make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. 2 p.m. is the time we are going to meet again. Till then, I'm Lekon Shemi. Cheers. God bless. Make sure you invite your friend and everyone to the analysis, the New York session of the analysis by 2 p.m. this afternoon. Once again, cheers and God bless. See you by 2 p.m.